scary. Although Wrath is big too. Like he's a good player.
Yeah.
Like yeah, he was smoking. Actually, Red Mercy picked up a kill. They picked up first blood, and Wrath, even though he was Gragas against Lissandra, which I think he should, outright lose that matchup. He was pretty killer. He was doing really good.
So, is this any of the teams that we saw last game?
Nope. Sorry, yeah. So you got Sivir Me Tibbers on the right.
Okay.
And Kiss My Ace on the left.
Okay. And looks like we have 2 people from the same clan or something like that. MFG. Maybe friends. Maybe they know a little bit how each other plays.
Yeah. Could be.
We have Annie, obviously support. Dr. Mundo, crazy OP this patch right now. And then looks like 80 carries banned out and the Elise. Okay. So a lot of kind of the FOTM champions being banned out right now for sure.
Right.
That's terrifying, especially in a solo queue tournament kind of like this.
And actually, I do have some insights into Frequency, who is the Diamond 1 player on this team. I actually used to play on the college team for the CSL with Frequency. I carried him all the time. But, so he's going to be the 80 carry, and he is actually, it looks as though he's going to be picking up the jungler first. Shyvana, honestly, I think Shyvana is huge right now.
That could also be the top lane, which is a great thing about that pick, right? You never know exactly where it's going, and depending on the team comp, if it is something like a pretty serious counter jungle battle, she could go in the jungle and just mess with Udyr, or just be that nuisance top lane and get crazy farms.
Right. And actually, that's actually a really, really good point, because it could be that way. However, I'm thinking the likeliness that these players, because it is a solo queue hero tournament, they're not playing full 5s games, and typically, if you're mostly playing solo queue, your champion selection pool is not that big.
Yeah, for sure.
You don't have to work on that, really. You gotta have a pretty decent range, but it's not that big a deal. So Shyvana, in my mind, is already determined where it's going. We just don't know.
Okay, for sure. I wouldn't be surprised if we see an Olaf, because Olaf is also very strong in this patch, especially with the defensive masteries, and that way we can have those 2 super tanky bruisers, either in top or jungle, that can cut through Udyr and Leona.
So you're going to be seeing Lulu picked up here. Now I do know that, I really like Lulu Vayne. I like Lulu Graves as well. However, I'm pretty sure that both of those 80 carries, Frequency is not too fond of. So we are probably not going to be seeing that.
Because they did pick Leona, and their jungler isn't also, assuming that Udyr is their jungler, they won't have a lot of wave clear. And Lulu is very strong in a 1v2 situation. She's able to push very hard, so they do have the option of picking up that hyper carry and doing a 1v2. And they would most likely get the tower down first, considering Leona has a lot of trouble pushing the wave and dealing damage to the tower.
Right. Okay, so it's going to be an Amumu. I think even the fact that they're looking at the Amumu is pretty indicative of Shyvana top.
Yeah, for sure. Amumu was played most recently in competitive by... Oh, never mind. I was going to go off on a little tangent about the EU NIP game, the fiasco that we had with Hercubot, where he didn't have the best games on Amumu, but looks like they don't want to go down the same road. Vi, obviously a very strong jungler. If they pick someone who's strong at 6 and mid, obviously they can get a bunch of kills there. And Aurelia, same idea with the Udyr. Not Udyr, sorry, the Olaf, where true damage will help them cut through that top lane. She is more of an assassin, more of that solo queue style carry. So, interesting pickup by her. Definitely staying true to the solo queue theme of this tournament. Not played that much in recent competitive play. However, she does do very well with the defensive masteries. Not only does she get the tenacity, but with the regen that comes in, I think it's like 10% or something like that, 10% extra when you're below 30% health or something. Right. That's really strong with Aurelia and her ult. Get a Spirit Visage on her, and she'll be someone you'll have trouble taking down.
Right. So it looks like Caitlyn being picked up as well. That is actually a champion that I know Frequency plays. To be honest, at this point, I'm not sure what the 80 carry is going to be.
Yeah.
Let's see if I actually recognize it, because at this point, those are his top 3. It's Caitlyn, Lucy, and Jinx. It's going to be interesting to see how they go with this one. You can see they're taking their time on this one because they're not sure exactly how this is going to work. I did want to point out about the Vi, by the way. Last game, I believe it was MFG Next that was playing jungle, and he played jungle Vi, which was a pretty big factor in the win. So taking that away, not a bad call. Oh, and it will be Varus. Actually, he does play quite a bit of Varus as well. So that's a very smart choice.
Varus is okay against Udyr. Udyr has a lot of trouble dealing with Kite. So if Lulu plays well and Lulu is able to kind of keep the Udyr down, he shouldn't really have that much trouble from either her or the Aurelia. Or him and the Aurelia, sorry. So a lot of protection coming out of this team comp with the Lulu, the Shiv ult, the Vi ult, if they decide to use it that way. However, with the last pick, Fizz, it looks like they are going for that dive, so looks like they're going for that wombo combo of Vi ult, Varus ult, Shyvana ulti. Just a lot of initiation coming out from blue side.
Yeah. Oh, and it's going to be Kale. Kale's a smart choice in this kind of tournament.
Yeah.
Honestly, lots of damage, lots of ability to initiate, and we saw actually last time, the reason I liked seeing Lissandra and the reason I liked seeing Gragas is because those were the top two players, respectively, for their teams, right?
Mm-hmm.
So having those two champions that can engage, and you don't just have to shot call, because you're not sure what your team's going to do. Are they going to be fast to react? Are they going to be slow? Is their position going to be bad? You can be the one to engage and make those decisions, and that's what we saw the whole time. So
engage is
stuff.
amazing in the solo queue. That's how you carry your team.
Right.
And that's a little bit why I'm worried about this purple side team. Was that Sivir Timbers? Or sorry, no, what was it again? Purple side?
Purple, it's...
Kiss My Ace or something?
Yeah, no, sorry. It's Sivir Timbers on purple and Kiss My Ace on blue.
Okay, so Sivir Timbers, they don't have much engage. And they also don't have much peel. It's kind of just like they're going to sit on the carry if they can and have kind of Kale and Caitlyn do their thing from the back. And I'm not sure, just strictly team comp, I'm going to have to give it to blue team.
Right, okay. That's an interesting way to look at it. However, I will say, if this were a team, like pre-organized team game, I'd be right there with you.
Mm-hmm.
But the exciting thing about this tournament, and I'm so glad that Esports Canada is putting this sucker on, is you can't really call it.
You know what? That's totally true.
You can't really call it.
There's such a wide disparity of skill in certain lanes, right? Someone could be a silver player, could be going up against a diamond player. So you never know what could happen. Like this Aurelia could become huge and just carry the game by herself, right?
Now, I will say that I think that these two teams, especially because this is a solo queue tournament, now it's going to come down to communication to cancel this effect out, but I always mention the accordion effect of team fights. So basically, when you have the tanks from each team going after the back lines of the opposite team, and the back lines are running away, and then there's like kind of the stragglers, like the supports and whatever in the middle. So there's this whole like accordion effect where you basically are just stretching through each other's teams, and I honestly think that's going to happen this game. You've got Vi, who's probably going to be launching after either the Kale or the Caitlyn, both of which can get very far to the back, Kale with the speed up and Caitlyn with the net. And then on the opposite side, of course, Udyr, there's going to be no reason for him to be hitting tanks. But I think whoever cancels that out and says, let's just peel, that's probably going to be the winning team.
Yeah. I think if Lulu's a God tier support, she might be able to carry that by herself.
Right.
And I think that might be the deciding factor.
All right. We're making all these calls. I actually called last game. The score was 1-1. And I called that Nasus would die just blindly, and he died. It was like he would die next.
Yeah, man.
It was amazing. Like, I'm good at this.
Nice.
You're casting with like
you want to put some money on this? Is that what you're saying?
I have a sixth sense. Yeah, sure.
I got wild cards on the Lulu, man. She's gonna carry this game.
Okay, I'm gonna call. I think Wrath is a little bit bummed about last game. Like he won last game.
Yeah.
I think he's a little bit bummed, so I'm gonna say that he's probably actually not gonna play as well. Now he could have he could have the fury though, right?
Yeah.
Like, cause he still won, and I'm sure he felt good about it, but
it wasn't his best game.
No, like in lane he didn't do that well.
Okay.
So, but he's also not gonna be against Red Mercy.
That's true.
So I'm gonna say call Wrath. It's kind of a cop out, but I'm gonna call Wrath.
All right. Well, let's see.
All right.
Red Mercy, if it does come down to it, hopefully I'll be able to play against him later today. And, those nerves could be a factor in this because he really is the only really well-known player in this tournament, you know what I mean? And a lot of people are paying attention to his games and they're watching him. I was out there. A lot of people are standing behind him over his shoulder just kind of checking out his game. So, nerves could have been a factor there for sure. Especially Lissandra, who's not that common of a pick, you know?
Right. But, I mean, let's be real, though. He smashed that. Like, I know you weren't here for the beginning, but,
I took a look, and he was, like, 10-1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's gross.
Yeah. Shouldn't really happen. In solo queue, people would be raging big time.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, this is kind of... Oh, that was me. I thought we were just switching. I pulled the cord on our monitor. Yeah, by the way, just kind of throwing out our own personal plugs, because now you're here. Follow us on Twitter. You saw our Twitter's up there. I'm at 1Frank, spelled all with letters. And
if you want to follow me, I don't have my own personal Twitter, but I work very closely with the University of Toronto League of Legends Association, and all the stuff that we do and I do can usually be found there, so it's at UOTLA.
Right on. That's kind of confusing, because I know that there's some... is that going to stay forever? We're missing that, actually.
I'm going to be brave. Let's see. Please?
Yeah.
Cool.
But that's confusing, because I know there's a lot of college teams from LA. You ever get that?
Yeah, because we're very, we gotta stick with the U of T.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We hope that will kind of make sure people realize that it's a Canadian kind of thing.
Yeah.
Toronto specifically. But if we're getting attention for people looking for LA, I mean, I'll take that. So.
And I have actually, this is not the first time that we've met, but definitely some good stuff going on over at U of T. So we're hopping into this game. Already a goal disparity. I'm pretty sure the game's over.
Yep. That early advantage. The snowball's coming.
Yeah. So we're gonna see some big troubles here. Okay, so this is actually one thing I really started noticing is that supports will start with the yellow ward, or the warding trinket, and then they'll go to the revealing trinket.
Yeah.
So like after they get Sightstone, is that something that you see often, or do you think that this start is good too?
I think a lot of it depends on how your team expects to be playing the game, obviously. I mean, for her to go the red trinket early just means that they will have a lot less coverage. However, Udyr is very predictable in his gang paths. So they would be able to put more pressure. However, we do see an invade coming here, since there is no real ward coverage coming out from either team right now. But as soon as you get pressure, you kind of seem to want to be going for the red trinket just so you can deny vision and kind of force picks. And Lulu doing that early might mean that they want to do a little bit of deep invades later on in the game. Maybe they'll try and pick off a first blue buff or something like that, or sorry, second blue buff, because Fizz does power spike very hard at 6. So the only thing that I would be worried about in that situation is that Aurelia does have teleport. So yeah, that's something we need to look at for sure.
And actually, I gotta say, this Aurelia was the Nasus from last game. Also ran teleport, so you can tell that he's very comfortable using teleport. And actually, he used it really well, but it just didn't pay off.
Yeah.
So I think in this game, if he uses it just as well, I think he's probably going to do very, very well. And actually, I'm going to say that Aurelia might actually be a really big factor here as well.
I can see it, man. Aurelia is definitely a scary thing to deal with if you're an AD carry. And if you don't have the kind of coordination from a team, like a competitive team, it can definitely hinder you.
Now, one thing I will say, and I'm hoping that it doesn't happen this game, but like I said, I've got a lot of insights on frequency as a player. So one thing that I have noticed is that he will go for very, very greedy builds. Like, I've seen him hold on to an Avarice Blade to a point where, like, it almost cost him the entire game. Because in teamfights he was that much weaker. Actually, it looks like mid lane here, level 2 being utilized so well from the Kale, and that's just Wrath, man. Last game he was against Red Mercy. This game he's not. I think he's going to have a bit of an easier time, especially with the matchup.
Yeah, definitely. That is something that I wanted to talk about. Kale is so strong against melees early.
Yeah.
Being able to push them in the tower and then harass them endlessly. She has great mana sustain and good pickup by Fizz going for the Flask, because he's going to need that sustain for sure.
Yeah. Smart stuff. But it is already 3-11 CS. Nobody else on the board has even close to that CS, so Kale, that's not perfect. It missed 1 CS in 2 waves.
Yeah. Getting off to a great start, and she does know that she isn't in that big of a risk until at least 3 minutes, so she's able to push up the first 2 waves really aggressively for CS loss.
Yeah.
Looks like we're seeing a battle top lane.
Oh, wow, and actually Shyvana turning things around, and that is the strength of Shyvana. No flash, though. Actually, what is Shyvana running? Oh, I have no idea why Shyvana didn't flash there. That blows my mind.
I don't know, maybe she thought her Ignite was going to pick it up. However, Aurelia was pretty smart with her health pot usage. She did use it at the start of that fight, so she was able to live through that Ignite. It doesn't do that much damage early on, but...
Oh, again coming in top lane here, as Uter's going to find his way up there. Forces out the flash from Aurelia, or sorry, from Shyvana, and Aurelia will teleport to top lane. MFG next is going to continue to push here, so smart stuff. As Shyvana, they know it's going back here.
Yep. Great plays by Uter, able to kind of equalize that lane. Keep Shyvana from snowballing, and that's really what he needs to do at this point, because if Shyvana gets out of control, nobody will really be able to deal with him except for maybe Kayla. She has a great game.
Right. Alright, so one thing I'm noticing here is actually, I noticed the last time we looked at bottom lane as well, Lulu is actually costing Varus a couple of CS every now and then, and that's gonna add up here. Frequency now getting jumped on here. Exhaust going down. A little bit preemptive in my mind. Frequency still has flash and barrier available. So really smart stuff, and you can tell that's top level play. Saving it until he needs it. However, this meta sucks. I think is going to have... Yeah, there it is. Nice shield. Barrier comes out. Still has flash available. Trying to turn things around.
This could be turned around.
Yeah, it still has flash, and there's the turret shot. So Lulu still pounding away here and does have picks to deal a little bit of... Barrier being forced out there as well. And Frequency, you can tell...
He wants that flash.
Yeah, he wants to get in there and get that damage off. I think if he can land a Q from a distance, he will flash in to try to auto-attack and pick up the kill. He lands the Q, but it's just not enough, and he knows that. Lulu comes in here. If she lands an auto-attack, that'll force out the flash, but no. Backing off. Really tense moment there in bottom lane.
I think he wanted to flash, but he was worried about the E from Caitlyn. He didn't want to waste his flash and just have it netted and not be able to kill her. Great plays by Lulu, though, in that engage from Leona under tower. She chose to slow the Caitlyn, preventing her from getting a lot of damage on that on the Varus. And great play by Lulu, like I was saying. She has the potential to kind of carry this game, and good things. Good start from her, so I think I'm winning on my bet.
Yeah, you got this.
A little bit.
Except for the fact that Kale is now 20 CS ahead of the Fizz.
Yeah.
Which is more than a kill's worth of gold.
Yeah,
I think
you're right.
You might be in trouble. Although I kind of copped out. I took the guy that I saw was a really good player from last game. So.
I love living on the edge, man.
Yeah, that's okay.
I got the faith.
Yeah. Look at this. Oh my gosh, just too much damage. And you called it, though. Push to tower,
yeah,
and then just harass.
That's a really rough matchup for Fizz. He does need some serious jungle pressure, and because Vi is so good at 6, especially with Fizz, he pretty much gets a guaranteed free ult. The only problem is they need to work around Kayle ult as best they can. Actually, to say that better, Kayle needs to play it really well with her ult. If everything works out for her, she should be able to live and keep the pressure on mid lane. If she does get some good pressure from Udyr and good counter ganks, and it comes to the 2v2, I think they could burst the Kayle even through her ult, but Udyr would probably be able to pick up the other kills because they'll have to waste so much if they're going to be able to kill that Kayle.
Right.
So we have to keep an eye on the Udyr and make sure that he is around mid for those counter ganks, and I think that's probably the most important thing right now because they need Fizz to get in this game. Yeah,
and this is actually a bad play from this meta sucks. We saw this last game as well. Same character, same player, just way too aggressive, gets himself way out of position there, and some nice damage being done there with the Q. Not only the damage, but pushing the wave as well. And Shyvana is so strong in the top lane. First blood and a double kill.
Wow.
Uh-oh. We're gonna see. You know what, though? I've seen that so many times with Shyvana. I swear, it's like every game she's got a solo lane, it's just, she wrecks it.
Yeah. Interesting plays from Leona. Lucky that E didn't connect. That could have been really bad for her.
Yeah, and Frequency going to the back lane here, choosing not to deal with the Leona that's right on the front line there, and Lulu goes in there, picks up the kill, and this is going to be a kill for Varus. There we go. Yeah. Lulu could have given up the kill. Yeah. Do you think she should have waited?
I think she probably just wanted to secure it and wants the gold, you know, because she's a bloodthirsty support. A little bit of a mistake, but not the end of the world for them for sure. Unfortunately, Fizz was roaming down there, and I think it would have been even better if both of those kills had gone to him. Great plays from bottom lane, though, but Fizz wasting some time roaming bottom, looking for some stuff, looking for some gold, actually. The Leona, a lot of miscommunication in that lane right now. Leona seems to want to be going ham, and unfortunately, Kayla's not really the best all-in champion with the Leona, and she's going pretty deep trying to get these kills, and...
we got a Fizz.
Yeah, no blue buff on the Fizz and a blue buff on the kill. It makes it real difficult. He's just going to push all day. He's going to have infinite sustain with his W. He's already picked up his Stinger, so you can tell that's exactly what he wants to do. He just wants to shove in a tower. He's going to get the tower before anyone else in the game, probably, at this point.
Yeah, and to put this into perspective, Lulu has more gold gained than Fizz.
Yep.
And that's not even including the trinket that she's got.
Yeah.
So that's pretty rough.
That is very rough for Fizz. Unless he's ahead, Fizz is going to have the issue where anytime he goes in and he goes in for that dive kind of kill, he's probably going to die himself, and that's not what you want to have happen on any assassin. Sure, if you can get someone who's really fed a high priority target, it's worth going 1-for-1 like the AD carry, but if you're just chunking someone to half or getting KO ulted when you go to use your burst, you're pretty much useless.
Right. I definitely agree with that, but we do see, you know, there is a big disparity mid in terms of the CS, but there's a huge disparity bottom as well. About 20 CS in the lead there, and as well as those kills that kill and assist, and they're just going ham here. They know they have level 6, and no level 6 for the enemy team. However, frequency goes down pretty low here, exhausted, so the attack speed is very slow, as well as the damage output. Lulu actually going down pretty low here as well, but fires off that Q, both the Qs, and they will continue to push forward here. Lulu trying to get some auto attacks off. Do we have another Q from Varus? Fires off that last auto attack, needs one more. Oh, but the barrier bait, nice play, but flashing behind turret. Huge plays from the Caitlyn, really nicely done, as well as in mid lane. We've got a kill on Kale, top lane a kill on Aurelia. That's almost an ace.
Yeah, there was a little bit of a battle around blue buff. Looked like Fizz died too. Shyvana came down and cleaned up a little bit, but another kill on Shyvana is not something you want to be looking at if you're a Caitlyn and you're already losing lane.
All right. Actually, I thought Aurelia went down there, but then I saw her near Dragon. I was like, wait, she's just not in lane. Never mind. All right.
She did use her teleport there, so
okay.
Trying to clean up, make some plays. But yeah, 3-0 Shyvana with 65 CS at 10 minutes into the game. That's going to be a problem. It is like that old Rumble, like you were saying. She gets those 1v2s. Rumble used to be able to just overheat as soon as a jungler came in a gank, throw an Ignite down, and just the amount of damage that you can put out that's unexpected is unreal.
Right. I personally hate Rumble, so let's not talk about it. Like, I hate Rumble. I'm a big Cho'Gath player, and I hate Rumble. I think reasonably so with that.
Yeah, definitely. Rumble is a little bit of an annoying champion, to say the least. But still a lot of miscommunications volleying. The support kind of putting the Caitlyn into some sticky situations, engaging against 2 level 6s when she herself is only level 5. Questionable to say the least, and we're gonna need to see some jungle presence in some of these lanes if they're gonna want to make a comeback. But Leona does decide to ult. She is going in.
This is not going to be good. We've got a fight breaking out here. Lulu still has ultimate available, and it's definitely going to be baiting with that. It's just like a barrier bait. I think only better as they continue to fight away here. Leona now in the front lines is going to get chiseled away at. Udyr steps in the fray as well, but gets ulted by the Varus Beautiful, which is going to leash onto both of the enemy characters. Unfortunately, he's forced to step around. Kale steps into the fray as well, and that's only going to be one character on the front line, and it's Vi at almost full HP. Now the push comes in, so they say, you know what? We lost that, or actually we went 1-for-1 in that exchange. I didn't even notice Lulu went down. Let's just try to take a tower here. We got a big wave to work with. However, Fizz is now in mid lane, picks up a bit of CS for himself as well. Still 50 CS down, but he takes down mid turret.
Yeah, that's great. He did get some gold for his team, which is better than nothing. In my opinion, it would have been smart for him to look for a roam there. However, because he's so gold starved, he sees the opportunity to get some free farm, and you know that's what he's going for.
Yep, and that's a sad day.
It's unfortunate. He did get the tower though, which is great. Opening up that mid tower will allow his team, which is very strong on picks, to assert some dominance in the jungle of red team. Maybe drop some wards around their buffs, and that will allow the Fizz to hopefully get back in the game with a couple picks. So,
yeah, we're hoping. And to be honest with you, at this point, whenever somebody is just completely behind and then the rest of their team is doing okay and you know that it's still, you know, it's going to be okay for them, I think what are they going to be able to accomplish without having what they're used to having? So Fizz doesn't have a lot of damage, but he gets in there and actually he might get a kill here. No, Color does take it. And Udyr steps in the fray, but no, Fizz doesn't lose the tower aggro. Vi tries to back him up, but it's just not going to happen there. She gets the shield from her passive. Not going to work so well. But anyways, back to my point. So what do you think Fizz is going to be able to contribute, considering the fact that he's never going to have that damage that he needs?
Well, that was a really great ult from him, and if he can continue to pull out things like that, initiation, a great ult on maybe a Kale or a Caitlyn will be big things. But it looks like Vi's going hard on this Kale. She does have her ult up still, so she could be baiting, but Vi putting out a lot of damage on that Kale.
Yeah, nice job. And actually surprising, considering how well Wrath is doing right now. Just in terms of the CS, he's got an assist under his belt, still has a death, but, I mean, the gold is definitely there for him compared to the Vi.
Yeah. So bottom lane, we'll see if Leona continue to go for these engages. There is a BF sword on the Varus, while Caitlyn only has a Vamp Scepter and a couple Thorns Blades.
And here we go. You know, the moment there that Varus saw that Leona's E wasn't available, he was just like, all right, it's go time.
Yeah.
Move forward, beautiful kill. And that's, honestly, the shot calling coming from this bottom lane is amazing. As soon as they hit 6, they were like, okay, we're 6, they're 5.
Yeah.
That's only going to be for a couple of minions. Now. Go now.
Yeah.
And it's surprising because I don't think these dudes have ever met.
Yeah, a big part of it too is that they're just really able to read the Leona's attempt to make plays, because that's kind of all she's been doing all game. And if they can bait, which they're doing a great job doing, they're able to just take their advantage and pull them into their own lane, pull them deeper into their own lane, and then just turn it around right back on them. But it looks like we're seeing action top lane and a dragon at the same time. Shyvana does all. She doesn't have her ignite, but she has flash, so she might be able to get the kill here.
Yeah, but we know how she feels about flashing for a kill. As she actually does pull it off. Now, one thing I want to note around that dragon, so the advantage was for the blue team down there, but I made like this kind of like questioning motion because I was like, what did she do there? Vi actually smited a 5 HP small lizard at the red camp and then vaulted over the wall for dragon. So they had to back off. They didn't have a choice.
That was a great escape by Aurelia, by the way.
It
Massive props.
Unreal,
oh, and Vi does die in mid lane.
Oh, nasty. So Udyr kill, and actually I think that combo is going to be pretty effective.
Yeah, for sure. Udyr's farming pretty well at this point. He's already picked up his Ancient Golem, and it looks like he's working towards either a Aegis, which would be great for his team to help against the... Actually, a lot of magic damage does come out from Shyvana as well, so that looks like it would be a good pickup from him if that is what he's going for. But it does look like mid tower is going to go down to the Kayle, and it does. Udyr and Kayle also a great combination. They have a lot of damage. They can stick on a target really well, so we'll see what they can do. And Dragon is still available, so...
I can only imagine this is going to be a pretty clean dragon here for the right side here, and it will go down. Shiver Me Tibbers is going to pick up some nice global gold for themselves. Try to get back into this one in terms of the overall gold score, which now sits at 22.8 to 20.2. What do you think that much of a gold lead around 2,000, around 2,500 actually, is going to do for either team?
Honestly, because it is a solo queue tournament, I feel like the throws are going to be everywhere. And a gold lead like that, if you're not asserting your pressure to its utmost and you're not invading the other team's jungle, you're not using your advantage and your threat to kind of choke the other team out, starve them, it doesn't mean as much as you would think. A lot of it has to do with where the gold is. And 4 kills being on Varus, 4 kills being on Shyvana, that is their team fight pressure. That's the front line and the back line, and you might be able to see exactly what that means from Varus right now.
Oh, nice flash over that one. And he waits for the exhaust to come out before he starts pounding back away. Misses the Q, however. A nice flash from Leona herself. This is going to be interesting. Caitlyn, though, way too low to turn things back around. Barrier comes out as well. Caitlyn lands a nice Q. This Metasucks actually jumps back on there, but of course,
here.
Pick that one up. Kayle is definitely going to pick up a kill here. Fires out the Q. Frequency, not going to be able to shut that one down, but still takes him down to half health. Caitlyn in the background goes down to Lulu, and it's already a 2-for-1. If they pick up the Lulu, it's a 2-for-2. Fizz comes in, and he's going to land. Oh, but a nice ultimate there from Kayle is going to negate not only the ultimate from Fizz, but some ignite damage as well. Down he goes. Nice exchanging there, and in the end, it will be a 2-for-2. Surprisingly, Lulu not dying.
That was exactly what Red Team needed. Even though they did lose their engaged bottom lane with their 2 carries, getting Kayle a kill, getting the shutdown gold on her, she can be the carry. She puts out 80 carry level DPS. She's already got her Nashor's Tooth. Looks like Vi's looking for the Udyr. She might be able to find him. She does have her ult. She gets in. Turtle stance goes down. He might be able to get away with that bear stance. However, Vi does have a lot of gap close. It does look like she might be able to pick up the tier, or the kill.
Oh,
flashes for it.
No, it's not enough. Okay, so Vi actually has one of the longest... Oh, yep. She has one of the longest auto attack animations for a melee when the damage is applied. So for as a melee, it matters when the damage is applied versus a ranged champion. It's when the projectile comes out. So she has one of the longest animations to actually have the damage apply. And you saw she was doing the stutter stepping, and she threw out a punch, but it didn't apply the damage, which
yeah.
actually probably would have killed him.
If she had also had the second proc on her E,
right,
she would have been able to auto attack reset there, and I think she probably wouldn't have been able to get the kill.
Yeah.
So just unfortunate luck for the Vi. She wasted a lot for that, and it might bite her in the ass right here.
Yeah, here we go with another attempt in MFG next. Okay, so Udyr Kale. That's who we got to be watching.
Yeah, Udyr's getting that Triforce, it looks like, too. Oh, Fizz is here, though.
Oh, no, but we do have another ult from Kale available if they need it, which they don't, of course. The fish comes up, and down goes Fizz. This meta sucks getting just hammered on, and you can see... that was the ultimate.
Oh, still picks it up, though.
It's like playing darts here with Varus.
Yeah. So that was a really questionable play by the Fizz. He didn't have his flash up, and he led with his E on.
Oh.
Wow. Those snipes, man. What a god.
Sorry, continue.
Yeah, I was just saying the Fizz doesn't have any damage and is leading his E on an Udyr who has 5 kills. Not the best idea, considering you have a Chalice and no real escape other than your E at that point.
Yeah, and here we go with a big engage here, and it's again Kale and Udyr just roaming the map, just being absolute terrorists. Here comes a Q, looking for the Kale, doesn't hit, and that would have been the 3 procs from his W, which I would actually love to see what he's maxing first. It looks like Q, I'm gonna guess Q, but he's also got a lot of damage.
Oh!
Here we go, Shyvana comes in as well, and jumps in, trying to get the kill on Kale. Everybody wants the Kale, and it's not gonna happen, but it will actually. The Leona ultimate a little bit too late and a little bit too far forward. Still gets the stun, but now it's gonna be the Leona. You can see how squishy she is too. Getting chomped on here, Frequency with another kill, and they're just gonna say, you know what? Bottom lane is just obliterating. Let's stay down there. Let's push that down so that we can have Frequency leave that lane if he needs to, or we'll just take the inhib.
That's really unfortunate because Aurelia's teleport was just almost off cooldown. I think she was waiting for that. She felt like she was safe pushing top lane, like nothing was going to go wrong for her team. And if she had had that teleport, maybe she would have been able to peel that off and save at least the tower. Just unfortunate timing from her. Really good restraint shown from blue side though, not taking too much off of that, making sure they don't get caught because they did see Aurelia going back. They need to check their timers, they need to get wards down and see what they can make off these plays because they are in a very good spot with an 8-1 Varus and a 5-0 Shyvana at this point. So from them, probably looking in for the next dragon, and we might see our first big team fight at that point. Look probably for the Kale and the Udyr just running train on people, and we'll have to see if the Shyvana and Varus can survive.
Right. So it's going to be interesting to see. Honestly, I think Kale and Udyr, they're kind of hitting it off right now, but they need to get with the rest of the team.
Yep.
Leona's going to be in a big trouble spot for the rest of the game. I do want to mention the Fizz build. I really don't like it for a couple of reasons, but I'm curious what you think about it.
It's pretty bad. With Fizz, generally you take full AP everything. AP, quints, yellows, and blues. You want to scale as hard as you can and rush a Lich Bane. And that gives you your mobility and your assassination potential, not just on your E and your ult, which scale the best, but your Q and W do a lot of damage to carries, and it also applies to Lich Bane. For him to go Chalice, understandably, Fizz has some mana problems, but it just makes him even less useful. At this point, I probably would have gone for maybe a Zhonya's, make yourself a little bit more tanky, allow you to engage. If he picks up a couple kills, it could go alright for him because, I mean, Athene's is a great item overall anyways. But Fizz is super weak at this point. A big problem though with Udyr is that, especially Tiger Udyr, is that he gets kited very hard. So if Varus is able to play it well, it could be an issue. However, if Kale is able to get a perma-slow down on the Varus, and they do work well together, it could be a very close team fight. So we'll have to see what happens. Aurelia wasted her teleport. Sorry, not wasted her teleport. Used her teleport to get to mid to kind of save some pressure off this tower because a lot of poke is coming out from KMA. We'll have to see if they're going to continue poking this tower or rotate towards Dragon. They might try and just use their poke, chunk them, and then move towards Dragon. But this is possibility of seeing our first real team fight. Look for an engage from Leona. She does love engaging, so we'll see if anything happens here.
Despite the fact that she is now like super low HP.
Yeah.
Kale's been healing her up, but that just seems to not be enough. Oh, shoot, we've lost. No, we've lost video. No, it's. Oh no! I gotta not move my foot. cast from
Sorry
it.
guys, bear with us.
Yeah. What happened? It's the
Technical difficulties.
There's probably a big fight happening too.
Probably. Oh, we had it for a second. There we
There
go.
we go.
We're back.
Alright, so luckily no team fight went down. No team fights.
But a dragon does come out from blue side, which is great. Puts them up about 6.5k gold on SMT. A great play for them to be at this point because their Varus is going to scale really well. He already has his BT and Shiv. Looks like he's going to pick up a Last Whisper pretty soon. And with little to no armor coming out from SMT, he'll be able to just shred through people. And it looks like they're going for the pick on Udyr. They do buy ult.
And it's going to be probably a kill here. MFG next. Shyvana right over the wall there. Wants that kill, but in comes the Requiem from Kale. He's going to be able to get away from that one. Nice Q from Varus, but just way too tanky there. I think Varus is a little bit too used to the Leona, quote-unquote, tank, being super squishy. But, I mean, Udyr's huge. Varus gets caught out, though. Really rough stuff. And that is their carry at this point.
Leona does have her ult. There it is.
Oh, and it's going to continue to move forward here. Flashing forward is Demon Hawk, and this is the momentum they needed for red side. It's going to be pretty rough. Sivir meet Tibbers is now going to try to push this one forward. The last time they did this in the last game, they actually only took one tower, and they were like, all right, we're done.
Yeah. That was a great pick from Leona. Kind of making up for a little bit of her mistakes early. Not completely, but a great pickup for her and her team. Able to get another kill onto that Varus, the second of the game. Second death of the game, and they are able to put a lot of pressure here. Kayla is a great sieging champion. She doesn't have that much AD, but she does have a BT, so she could do enough damage to towers. They aren't able to pick it up, but I think they should take this advantage that they have as an opportunity to ward and try and get their jungle back, so they can avoid picks like what happened to the Udyr. Unfortunately, when that was going on in the jungle, Fizz did miss his ult, and he didn't have much effect in that team fight. He wasn't doing much. He has picked up his Lichbane, so he will be able to do a little bit more damage, but someone like an Udyr with Ghost is pretty hard to catch. If it had been a Kayle or Aurelia, something like that, maybe they could have made something happen off that, but unfortunate, aggressive, and honestly a little bit cocky from your boy Frequency.
Yeah, no, it definitely was. And I can tell you right now, he's probably telling his team, like, that was 100% my mistake.
Yeah.
He's willing to fess up when he makes a mistake, and that corner there honestly gets so many kills for teams.
Yeah,
like,
it's totally true.
It actually arcs out enough that depending on what character you're playing, you're going to be in tower range. Some of the smaller character models with the smaller hitboxes actually will sneak by. But, yeah, so interesting stuff. We did have a catch there. And Udyr, by the way, didn't die that entire time. He just got Requiemed and then he made it out.
Yeah.
But, you know, you were mentioning the Lichbane. We also have a Lichbane on Kayle, and that's going to be gnarly damage.
Yeah, like I was saying, Kayle is insane range DPS, almost like an 80 carry. And for her to get that Lichbane second, oh, here comes the engage from Shyvana.
Yeah, and she's in the back lines right now. There's the accordion effect I was talking about, by the way. You've got a huge back line. Ignite's going to pick up the Caitlyn. Double kill goes down for Shyvana, and she is so big right now. There's the ace, and that is just clean stuff.
Yeah.
They've got 3 caster minions that they're going to be able to take with them. Fizz was actually tanking that turret. He has a Lichbane. He needs to be the one doing the damage. No, you can take a Nexus turret, especially with the Lichbane, but they opt not to. They think maybe there's not enough minions. Top turret, though, definitely a viable option at this point, no pun intended, but Vi is the one heading up there. She's probably going to drop that one, no problem.
So that was pretty well played by Fizz, actually, that fight. He decided to protect his AD carry for a lot of that fight instead of diving, knowing that he probably wasn't going to be able to pick up a kill. And the real issue in the team fights coming from SMT is that Kayle isn't really able to run to the backline and help Udyr out. So Udyr is running right in, and the Lulu is just able to ult her carry. And Varus is so strong at this point, he can pretty much just solo Udyr. Isn't even worried. And that's a problem because they don't have a lot of damage following the Udyr. There is no very strong Aurelia. There's nothing like that. I mean, Frozen Heart on Aurelia, sure, it helps, but she's not going to be doing the damage that she needs to.
Right.
So Kayle being on the back line, getting chased down by a 7-0 Shyvana and a terrifying Vio, and not to mention the super long range from Varus, it's just not doing well for team fights for them. And I mean, they do have the potential, if they do get a couple of kills on maybe Aurelia, and she does become kind of an anti-carry that she needs to be. But at this point, if KMA is able to just apply their pressure, like they're doing right now, moving towards Baron, pick up a Baron with their insane damage they have with their Varus, who does have his Last Whisper and a BF sword now at this point. Superman is coming down mid lane. There's a lot of potential for this game to snowball out of control at this point. So we'll have to see if SMT is able to avoid getting choked out, and that's the big thing at this point.
Yeah, we'll see how this goes. In my mind, I'm thinking Baron's probably a good option, especially with that mid inhibitor down. Now, typically you want the bottom inhibitor to be down. It's the most important one. In terms of you taking Baron control, because it's the farther... Oh, jeez, okay, what is going on here? Keep cutting out the video for us. But you do want that one. Obviously, mid lane, you're not going to complain if that's the one you end up getting.
Yeah.
Looks like, though, they're going to be heading towards top. Not a lot of ward control. They've got one ward for blue side behind the enemy red buff. They see Udyr with it. MFG color, though, like, let's be honest, nobody wants to mess with that dude. And I'm thinking Varus could probably 2v1 a lot of combos from the enemy team at this
absolutely. Point. He's so strong. This is a good spot for SMT to teamfight, though, because they do have their mid lane pushed up, their bottom lane is pushed up, so if they want to fight, this is a good opportunity. They just need to get a great engage, catch the Varus. He does have his flash up, though, so it'll be tricky.
Let's see how they are able to get this one going here. And there's a red buff, excuse me, as well as a blue buff on frequency. So not only is he going to be firing the Qs with a great frequency, he's also going to be, whenever he lands an auto attack, he's probably going to get a couple more behind it with the slow from red buff.
Yeah, so now SMT is in a sticky situation. Their mid lane is pushing down. They're going to have to send someone to deal with that. Aurelia does have TP, but she really doesn't have enough wave clear, and it does look like this could be another tower. Wow, Caitlyn taking a lot of damage. Could see the all. Here it is.
That's not going to do it.
Yeah, nice net from Caitlyn, but that is not a good sign.
Whoa.
Wow, the Kayle damage.
Okay, so 2 ultimates down here, and it looks like Kayle is going to Requiem himself, and that's, honestly, I don't think that was a good idea. He was well in the background there, didn't need it. An exhaust goes down on Vi, probably not the best option. Nice barrier from Varus, and that's going to keep him alive long enough to do a lot of damage here. MFG Color just in the back line, doing his thing, chilling out, you know, whatever, taking the mountain full of gold from the enemy.
Shyvana actually did take down the Kayle. She can't deal.
Oh, no!
That's the worst. Wow. Well, Caitlyn does pick up a kill off that. Better than nothing.
Yeah.
So in the end, a 4 for 5 actually. Not bad at all. And their inhibitor is back up, so a little bit of pressure relieved from SMT. They didn't even get the tower, so not bad. Could have gone a little bit better. However, Kayle is very close to her DFG now. And that does mean that she'll be able to deal with Shyvana a little bit better. It doesn't mean she'll be able to solo her, but if Shyvana maybe makes a little bit of a mistake and goes a little bit too aggressive, like she is right now, they might be able to pick her up at this point.
Yeah, she's big, though.
She's really big, but that's the thing, right? The more that she scales, Kayle's able to use her DFG and that, like, 80 carry kind of damage. She might be able to shred through her, because, I mean, like I was saying, Kayle's pretty strong at this point. She has 220 CS, which is right up there with Shyvana. She just doesn't have the kills, so 51k gold to 42k gold, though, so obviously there's a little bit of a disparity. However, like we saw there is the potential for them to win team fights, so just a couple more of those sneakily placed Caitlyn traps might be what they need to win the game.
Right. So off we go. It's going to be interesting to see how this all plays out. Now, we do have still a full side of the trinket, the ward trinkets for the red team. I'm just not sure, you know, people aren't adjusting yet to Season 4, but I really think that switching the trinket later on is going to be a really big deal.
It's definitely an advanced thing. People are used to just buying in oracles, and they kind of don't really think about their trinket. A lot of people will even get full builds and forget to upgrade their trinket because they're just so unused to it. So they're not applying the kind of pressure that they could be, and that just allows KMT to push out all their lanes without worry and able to delay for their inhib, but Caitlyn's getting caught by Vi.
There we go. There's the jump in. Fizz is going to dash forward. He's looking for that Lichbane proc. He knows he wants it, and he fires at the Shark. Shark is going to go hungry today. Wrath also on the background here. There goes the fight. Frequency gets jumped on here. He's got a lot of damage coming out onto him, but it's just not enough because Aurelia ran away. Steel Cell is going to steal his life back as he was almost dropped down there. MFG next gets dropped by Frequency, who, by the way, MFG next has like no armor.
Yeah.
So he's gonna go down very, very quickly.
He is really squishy.
That's that, and they're gonna pick that one up. Let's see what they got. They only have one Nexus turret down, and I'm not sure. I don't even remember that going down.
Me neither.
But they're gonna pick this one off, no problem. Shyvana taking that one up. It looks like it's gonna switch to frequency. Frequency very low here. Takes another tower shot. Down he goes, but he's gonna heal up a little bit with that Bloodthirster. Still trying to get that tower down. Is it gonna be enough? We've still got a couple of seconds left on the Kale and Udyr, who we've known to be a pretty mean combo, but everybody's gonna back off. In those towers, I believe they heal themselves.
Yeah,
so
they do.
We're gonna. Let's see if they can keep it alive long enough to heal it back up.
Yeah, I didn't realize that one tower went down. I guess the super minions probably took it out, or maybe Shyvana when she dove the Kale. But if they are able to maybe rush a Baron here or something like that, they do have everyone up, and there are 4 people low on the side of KMA. So there is the potential for a counterplay here. However, we need to see if they are aggressive enough to make something happen. Aurelia does have her TP, so she should be able to hold mid lane. It looks like Udyr was thinking kind of along the same lines. However, KMA is smart enough to keep it worded. They know that that's one of the options that SMT has at this point. One of the only options SMT has at this point. Still in the game, not the end of the world. They did save their Nexus tower, and Kale, I mean, she is getting blown up, but like I said, she does finally have that DFG. So if she can maybe insta-kill Frequency, who doesn't have his flash right now, you know, it's never over until the fat lady sings. So. Yep.
They need a gender swap Gragas skin.
I was just thinking that, you know, that'd be funny, like a pentakill female Gragas, something like that.
Yeah.
And then the fat
instead
lady.
Of a barrel, he has like just a big microphone.
Or like that would actually be hilarious. You see a big microphone thrown at you.
And then his dance, like his victory dance at the end, is he just starts singing.
That would be good. That'd be troll though, man. People would BM with that all day.
I remember when people would BM with the Cho'Gath.
Yep.
Oh my, like
the boombox.
No, the gentleman Cho'Gath.
Oh, okay, yeah, that one's good too.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I actually lost a lane because of that.
There's the DFG though. That's what I was talking about. Look at the damage that Kale's able to put down on the Shyvana.
Oh, but the ultimate from Frequency gets in there. Vi still very much alive, jumps in the background. Oh, Wrath going down super low, ults himself, and we've been seeing that all game. Vi still alive, gets ulted by Lulu, who I really didn't think needed to, but at the same time, when you're this far ahead, you've got spells to burn, and you've got ults to burn. Yeah, Quadra comes out. Is it going to be a Penta? We need to see a Penta!
Nice. Alright, well, I think you might have won this one, dude. Frequency, making the plays. Oh, wait, no, you didn't even say
Wrath. I called Wrath.
Oh, my bad, buddy. Sorry. This Lulu, who's 4-5 and 22, I don't know. But that looks like it's the game for KMA, man. They played that really well, and a pentakill to end the game. 16, 3, and 11, Varus. That's the guy I wanted in my solo queue games. Absolutely.
Yeah, and honestly, he's been killing it recently.